Let's throw some jabs.
The fight starts now!
All right, Sergio, we have another big fight on DAZN, and this one is going to be a grudge match. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia have agreed to terms to fight on April 20th for Haney's version of the 140-pound title. These two have been going back and forth since the amateur days. They went 3-3 against each other in the amateur ranks. Now they can test their skills in the pro ranks. Sergio, we heard for weeks that Ryan Garcia was targeting a fight with Rolly Romero. He quickly pivots to a fight against Devin Haney. Is this the right move for Ryan Garcia?
Yes, it's the right move, and you got to give this kid a lot of credit because he went straight from making one of the biggest fights of the year with Tank Davis, taking on a very tough opponent in Duarte, and now going back to a big mega fight with Haney. Haney, who has been fighting the absolute best for some time now. I mean, he has a championship resume, but you got to give it to Ryan Garcia on this one. I give him a lot of credit. Is it the smart move? Yes, because he's going to get paid a lot of money, and we're in this sport to make a lot of money, win some titles, and fight the best. Ryan Garcia is doing 2 out of 3 of those, and now he's going to be fighting for a world championship with Haney once again. Smart move, man. Win, lose, or draw, we got to give him credit for making the big fights, and this is what fans want. We want the best fighting the best, and these are 2 of the best at 140.
Yeah, I believe that Rolly Romero was the best fight for Ryan Garcia because it was a marketable fight and it presented probably the easiest path for Ryan to get a world title. With Rolly off the table, though, this is the next best fight. We don't want to see Ryan Garcia in another mid-level, low-level tune-up type fight. We want to see him in big fights. And Devin Haney is a big fight. Devin Haney coming off an event where he sold out the Chase Center in San Francisco. Ryan Garcia, 2 fights removed from an event where he did more than 1 million pay-per-view buys. So these are 2 guys that are in their primes and 2 of the biggest names in boxing right now. So it is going to be a challenging fight for Ryan Garcia, but I think it is the right one for him to be taking right now. So we know that Devin Haney is coming into this fight as the favorite. DraftKings already established him as a big favorite going into this fight. So is there a path to victory for Ryan Garcia?
When you have speed and power, of course you have a path to victory, and Ryan Garcia already has fought Devin Haney, so there's familiarity as well. So, you know, the pros and the amateur game are 2 different, sciences. I get that, but when you know each other that well 6 times, you already felt the power, you already felt the speed. But I think range is going to be a big thing here. With Ryan Garcia in his last fight, he showed that he can go forward and he showed he can go back. He was moving a little bit too much against that fight with Duarte, but in hindsight, looking back, that was the right strategy. He was setting up Duarte with something big. With Haney, he's going to have to go forward. Haney's not going to be fighting on the front foot that much. It's going to be, testy with the jabs, but the range is going to be the main thing. How does Ryan Garcia break that range and footwork? Ryan Garcia has been flat-footed in the past, but in this last fight, there's a little bit more movement, lateral movement, backing up, going forward. He's going to need all that. He's going to need all that with Haney. Is there a path to victory? Yes, because Haney has been hurt. We've seen him hurt with smaller fighters. I mean, Loma hurt him with the right hand. That's going to be a big key. I mean, he's been hurt by a right hand several times. I just think that right hand is going to be the factor. So if Ryan Garcia can actually break that range smart, use good footwork, and set up that right hand, because Ryan Garcia throws away the right hand just to throw that check left hook. It's predictable now. That's how he got caught with Tank Davis. You can bet Devin Haney's going to be looking for the same thing. So straight right hands, throw it downstairs, mix up the jabs. I think there's a path to victory there, and he has the better chin. I think he has a better chin than with Devin Haney. So those are the paths to victory if you're Garcia.
Yeah, I understand why the odds heavily favor Devin Haney right now. Devin Haney is peaking as a fighter. He's coming off a Fighter of the Year caliber 2023, where he beat the great Vasily Lomachenko, and then he completely shut out Regis Prograis in his first fight at 140. Before that, he was over in Australia beating the brakes off of George Kambosos. So Devin Haney is hitting his stride as a fighter, whereas Ryan Garcia is still trying to find himself, I think, as a fighter. This will just be his second fight with Derek James in his corner, and there's still some adjusting there. In that fight against Oscar Duarte, Ryan tried a whole bunch of different things, including a shoulder roll defense that I think you and I both hope we never actually see Ryan Garcia try again. So I understand why the odds are as high as they are, but let me make the case that this can be a winnable fight for Ryan Garcia. One, you mentioned the familiarity. Even though these two guys have never fought in the pros, and I don't know anything about them sparring each other in the pro ranks either, they've been in the amateur fights 6 times. That's a lot. And I get that the amateurs are different. A lot of times you're wearing headgear, different type of situations. But if you know who you're getting in with, and if you know what kind of power that fighter possesses and what kind of style that fighter's going to bring, that's going to make you, I think, a little more comfortable going into that fight. The other thing is the power, right? Like, Devin Haney's faced some good punchers. Regis Prograis, very good puncher. Devin Haney neutralized him throughout the fight. He has never fought someone with that quick trigger speed that Ryan has. Ryan's power comes from his speed, comes from hitting you with shots that you don't see. You know that, remember, go back to the Duarte fight. Duarte first got buckled by a shot he didn't see coming. And that's the kind of those are the kind of punches that Ryan Garcia excels at throwing. So I think Ryan, if he prepares properly and he comes up with a couple of different game plans, you know, both a plan A and a plan B, I think he's got a shot of landing something big against Devin. And if he does, like he showed in that Duarte fight, he can close the show. One big punch can buckle you, and then it's the flurry of punches that can really beat you down.
This is the type of fight where Devin Haney can be controlling this fight, but you're right. Just one good punch could actually shake the legs of Haney. And if that happens early in the round, you can bet Ryan Garcia is going to go for the kill. Haney's not the type of puncher that would punch in between the shots of Garcia. So if Garcia has him hurt, I don't see Haney throwing shots in between. He's going to cover up. He's going to move. He's going to do the smart thing. He's going to, shake the cobwebs. But that's the momentum that Ryan Garcia is going to need. And then that's when the footwork comes in. Can he track down a fighter moving to the left, moving to the right, going backwards laterally? We've seen him in the past have issues doing that. That fight with Tago, he couldn't track him down. And Tago wasn't really throwing anything back at him. Haney, he's at his best. And yeah, he's peaking with his confidence, peaking fighting the best. He is the best. Pound for pound, he's one of the best. So Devin Haney has all that going for him. So whether he's hurt or in control, I have him the favorite in this fight because of it. He just knows how to deal with that type of pressure, that type of magnitude, and everything as far as the skills is on his part. The speed and the quick twitch power is going to be on Ryan Garcia's side. The chin, I think I'm going to favor Garcia. The height, I think the longer reach or the same reach, but the height's going to be on Garcia. So if he can utilize that and actually follow a game plan and switch up that game plan, he's going to give Haney issues.
You know what I like about this fight, too, is that both these guys are great examples of why protecting your zero is bad for business. I mean, Ryan Garcia was not afraid to go into a fight against Tank Davis, and just 2 fights after he got knocked out, he's going to step in the ring with a top 5 pound-for-pound guy in Devin Haney. Devin Haney didn't have to fight Vasily Lomachenko in his first real title defense after winning those belts against George Kambosos. He did it. Didn't have to fight Regis Prograis in his first fight at 140. He did it. Didn't have to fight a Ryan Garcia, though I completely understand why. But he's out there hunting the biggest fights regardless of the danger of them. This is how boxing should be. 2 top guys, both in terms of skill, power, popularity, going at it. Because I don't think there's going to be a loser in this fight, Sergio. Even if Ryan Garcia gets beat 10-2, even if Devin Haney gets knocked out by 1 big shot, both these guys are going to be better for it because they're going to come out of this with the experience of being in another big fight.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the prime of boxing in the 80s when Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns and all these elite fighters were fighting. All these guys, mind you, were in their early 20s to mid 20s. That's when that's when you're at your peak, not only, as a man, physically, everything, and popularity. Yeah, these guys are both 25 years old. They're at peak at the popularity, and I just think that's the reason we're getting these mega numbers, just like Tank did with Garcia. I think we get similar numbers with Haney, and we know Haney's a popular ticket seller up in Southern California, in the Bay Area. So they're both popular. They're both at their absolute, popularity peak. Let's make it happen. The numbers are going to be there. And you mentioned not risking the zero or risking the zero. That's great because the risking the zero, that undefeated record, puts more zeros in your bank account, like I like to say. So it's all great, man. Everyone's making out here, and it's great for the sport.
Where are you at peak as a man?
I'm still trying to hit it, man. I'm still striving, Chris Mannix. How about you?
I'm years away.
Your face says another story.